In this digital clip, we're going to look at a tool we can use for modelling excellence, both in individuals, teams and organisations. So far in the programme, we've already discussed a few strategic models which we can use for modelling excellence, but in their own right, they're a little bit thin. So let's look at the tools. We have the iceberg, which starts with behaviour, feelings and emotions, attitude, beliefs and values, and conditioning. We have the logical levels tool, which starts at the bottom with environment, then moves up to behaviour, through capability, beliefs and values again, identity and purpose. And finally, we look at the state of mind and body tool, which covers how we think, how we emote, and how that drives our behaviour. And when we join all of these together, this creates a modelling excellence tool we call the icicle. With the bottom tip of the icicle being the least important thing when we talk about modelling excellence, the first word that drops off our icicle from our previous models is conditioning. Conditioning is a process that creates the ice. It isn't the content of the ice itself. So conditioning doesn't fit on our model at all. And the first thing that we find right at the tip of our icicle is environment. We're talking about tools, conditions, PPE, the workplace environment, the weather, all the non-personal stuff of life which support delivering excellence. Then as we move up, we consider modelling behaviours. Now, human beings are naturally mimetic. We copy by accident things other people say and do all of the time. Because copying only shows you the external behaviours, we never truly understand how we got so good. Coming up to the next level is to start thinking about capabilities and the how we got so good. The strategies that they put in place to learn that task or deliver that project are the key building blocks that create great behaviours. Just copying them makes you good, but understanding the strategies and structures for capability starts to take you more towards being great. The next step up on our icicle is state of mind and state of body. Now, state of mind and state of body are so closely intertwined, it's difficult to put them as separate layers, because I don't know about you, but if my mind's not on the game, then I rarely achieve my goals. Or if I'm physically in a bad place that day, achieving my goals still gets to be something that's really difficult. So above state of mind, the next thing we draw in from our iceberg model is attitude. And understanding the attitudes of people who are excellent at doing what they do will help us start to create the right state of mind and body, then learn the right skills, demonstrate the right behaviours, and create the right environments. Beyond attitudes, we then have to start going deeper into the subconscious to really truly understand what somebody who's excellent at that task must believe about themselves, must believe about the task, must believe about the way they do the task. And above beliefs, we have values. Values are the reasons why we do what we do. Values are the motivational tools that we use to get ourselves out of bed in the morning, as we've previously discussed. Above values, we have two final concepts. Sense of self, our identity, is a powerful driver on human behaviour, yet rarely do we have an understanding of our own sense of self, and even more interesting, if we want to create excellence the way somebody else creates excellence, we have to consider what identity they must have created for themselves to be so good at what they do. What is the higher purpose is often a question which leads you to a much bigger picture, something far greater than self-worth or self-development. Purpose is often an underlying driver for human behaviours, but rarely discussed or identified. There are 4 different ways we can use this tool for modelling excellence. We can use it as a reflection of self. It's almost like we're looking in the mirror and we're asking ourselves, What environment do I have to create? What behaviors do I have to demonstrate? What skills do I need? State of mind and body, what attitudes, what beliefs, what values, what identity, and what sense of purpose to achieve excellence. So first person modeling is very much about getting the coachee to think about the structure of excellence for them. Now, a lot of people struggle to think outside the box because their own barriers to success get in the way. So a great way of stepping outside the box and looking at it from a different point of view is to pretend to be somebody else. So if Richard Branson was running this company, how would it look? What would it be like? What environment would we create? What behaviors would we see? How would people feel and emote? When we do that, we bust people outside the barriers of their own thinking by modeling somebody else's way of thinking. Modeling by example comes from a simple belief that somewhere in our organization, somebody will be great at what they do. And if we want more people to be great at the same task, we should get them in, we should sit them down, explain we're going through a modeling excellence process, and take them slowly through the icicle from the bottom up. When you start an environment, it's the soft stuff. It's the stuff that nobody owns, and you can build rapport with the person before you start to shift into behaviors with what did they do, how did they learn how to do that, what state of mind or body, what attitudes do they hold, what beliefs are true to them, what's important to them about doing the job well, what's their sense of self, and for what purpose do they come to work and deliver excellence every day. And that modeling excellence process works on the principle that if we take what they tell us and then apply it to our new managers, our new leaders, our new supervisors coming through, if they do the same things too, they'll achieve the same results. The future pacing version of this model has our team or our individual simply imagining that it's 2025 and they've achieved excellence, and then asking themselves, how did I get here? What environment must I have created? What behaviors must I demonstrated? What skills did I learn? And so on. And what future pacing does is it leaves the blockers and the barriers of now behind. It seizes in the future having overcome them, and then we literally mentally work backwards and come up with solutions to overcome them. This is the equivalent of business and personal Gestalt therapy. It creates and rehearses a successful future that the subconscious mind then finds a way